Fernand closed his eyes. A burning sensation passed across his brow, and he was compelled to support himself by the table to prevent his falling from his chair. But in spite of all of his efforts, he could not refrain from uttering a deep groan, which, however, was lost amid the noisy felicitations of the company. "Upon my word," cried the old man, "you make short work of this kind of affair. Arrived here only yesterday morning, and married today at 3 o'clock. Commend me to a sailor for going the quick way to work." "But," asked Danglars in a timid tone, "how would you manage about the other formalities, the contract, the settlement?" "The contract?" answered Dantès laughingly. "It didn't take long to fix that. Mercédès has no fortune, and I have none to settle on her. So, you see, our papers were quickly written out, and certainly do not come very expensive." This joke elicited a fresh burst of applause. "So what we presumed to be merely the betrothal feast turns out to be the actual wedding dinner," said Danglars. No, answered Dantès. "Don't imagine I'm going to put you off in that shabby manner. Tomorrow morning I start for Paris. 4 days to go and the same to return, with only 1 day to discharge the commission entrusted to me, is all the time I shall be absent. I shall be back here by the 1st of March, and on the 2nd I give my real marriage feast." Okay, now this is the real countdown of Monte Cristo. They're going to be married today by 3 p.m. The clock is ticking, man. That's just one hell of a countdown. But let's just pause to consider a few things, all right? We have a long way to go in this book. Would it make sense? Okay, I'm just thinking narratively here, like what's to come. Taking the information we have available to us and kind of what do we think here? You know, would it make sense for them to get married and then have the hammer fall, whatever this hammer might be that Fernand has put in motion? Or would it make sense to have the hammer fall just before he gets married? If he gets married first, then the hammer falls, everything gets taken away from him. However, if it falls before he gets married, then there's unfinished business, right? And it would make room for Fernand to swoop in without legal ramifications. With Dantès and Mercédès already being married, then that creates a extra hurdle for Fernand. If it stops the marriage in its tracks, then Fernand can move in using the sympathy angle or something without Mercédès having the excuse of, well, I'm married and I'm going to be loyal to my husband for the end of time, regardless of what has happened to him. Okay, and I just want to give some historical context here about Napoleon, with this kind of political time that we're in here in 1815 France. We are right on the cusp of Napoleon's return. We've heard a lot so far about Bonapartist connections, that is something that is a threat into the monarchy, and making the connection from Dantès to being a Bonapartist agent is like the perfect excuse for something to happen to him. Because Napoleon's return is the utmost threat to topple King Louis's reign. So anything that could be aiding Bonaparte in that quest is going to be seen as something that requires dire consequences and immediate consequences. So, if Dantès intends to leave to Paris to deliver a letter from Captain Leclerc, regardless of what it is, then if it's seen as insurrectionist activities, this is gonna end real bad for Dantès. Anyway, let's keep an ear on that as we go on to the next passage of Chapter 5 on the Countdown of Monte Cristo. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.